If you are a Porsche fanatic or you know nothing about cars, you will know that our next ride is one of the most highly sought after vehicles on the planet, but it's also one of the most polarizing. Now, I'm Jen Barlow. This is Motor Spins, introducing the 2005 Carrera GT. This is a crazy, crazy exclusive ride. I love it because there's so much power, but there's so much ingenuity behind this design, and a lot of people would call it the last analog supercar. Let's talk about some of the design cues. For instance, look at the way the front just slopes down. Front xenon headlights, but they're a bit elongated compared to normal Porsche shape. These were really ahead of their time with the headlights. Forged aluminum here, 5-spoke, ginormous, beautiful yellow calipers here. They're gonna bite down and really stop you. 60 to 0, breaking down in 101 feet. We're in a museum, the Porsche Museum, so I can't quite literally get inside because they would take about 27 of my paychecks, probably more. So we're just gonna peek inside and see what we're working with. It's topless, pretty cool, but there are actual panels that you can put on the top. You would store them in your front trunk, your AKA your frunk. Everything about this ride is carbon fiber. From the unibody, AKA the carbon fiber monocoque, to inside, everything for safety, reinforced, but it's also that carbon fiber, it's lightweight. Also has an anti-roll chassis, which, fun fact, is functional even without body panels. That's pretty crazy. Yes, people, we have a manual gearbox. And a lot of supercars in the 2010s, after this car came out, a lot of them really switched to that dual automatic, the PDK. Porsche is known for their beautiful dual clutch system, but this is not that system. This still allows you the visceral in charge of your drive feel. Your key ignition is on the left-hand side. It's not because the designer was left-handed. Nope. It also goes back to the racing heritage with Le Mans, because here's the thing, back in the 1960s, I think the last year was 1969, you used to have to do a running start to your vehicle. They could quickly start the car, shift it into gear at the same time, as opposed to trying to fumble and do everything right-handed. Okay, the other thing I like about the shifter here, we got beechwood, as I mentioned, it's wood, heritage throwback, but it's so close to your steering wheel, check that out. But here's the thing, it does have a very, shall we say, finicky first gear. Here's the thing, the seats are comfortable, but they are for racing. You can't move them up and down. There's no adjustment. You can only move them forward and back. It is like a real deal race car. You did have a little screen up at the top there. Yep, you know, nowadays you have large infotainment centers, so there you go. You know, a lot of times you see in Teslas or whatever the case, you got like 18-inch, 100-inch, just kidding, that's a joke, infotainment screens. This is like, I'm gonna guess like 1.5 inches. I don't know, you need your state-of-the-art navigation CD that you travel with. There is a CD player, but it's tucked under below. You can't see it because there's actually luggage, personalized luggage that matches your ride, and it comes in quirky shapes and sizes. One gets stored under the center column even. It has a little doohickey, I think that's the proper term, that secures it into place. This car is so impressive. It's really rewarding if you are a race-oriented driver, if you've done some track time, this is a really rewarding car. However, if you are not at that level, this car is very unforgiving. So keep the traction control on. It's a Carrera GT, AKA it is freaking fast. I would pop the engine compartment, but here's the thing, I can't, they won't let me, but I want you to visualize this with me. 5.7 liter V10, count it, V10, naturally aspirated engine, pure performance. This has a top speed of 205 miles per hour, but here's the thing, 605 horsepower. 435 pound-feet of torque, baby. There's so much roar that comes out of it. I don't know if you've ever heard one of these on the road, but listen, it's a sight to be seen. The seal gray really turns heads. It really does. But what really, really turns the heads is the sound. It's it's a holy experience. We got the dual exhaust here, tons of carbon to speak of. Underneath, you got the flat bottom, yep. Like it goes flat all the way through because, you know, you gotta have that downforce all from the front end all the way through to the back end. You want that airflow really keeping it grounded. I believe there's 640 pounds of downforce that's created by this tail action, this rear wing, keeping it low. Your fuel here located on the passenger side. Another thing that's located on the passenger side is the battery, which is a little weird if you ask me. I'm pretty sure you have to take off your left passenger tire to access the battery, which is kind of a pain in the butt, but there are access points to make it a little bit easier. 205 top speed, but that means it's thrusting you forward 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. Quarter mile, we're looking at like 10, 11 seconds. Very, very fast, very, very fast, especially with something that doesn't have stability control. It's a rocket. It's the last analog supercar for its time. It's before the 918 Spyder, before the hybrid powertrains. It's got the manual gearbox. So we went from $449,000 as a starting price. Now fast forward to today's date. In the future, AKA now, 2021, when we're filming this, it's at $1.8 million at auction. Very exclusive, very pricey, very super, and there was only 1,270, just under 1,300 of them made, not that many left. It's pretty wild. I mean, just think about that, 1.8 million, but the fact is if you own this car, you gotta think about other costs as well. Something like taking it to get serviced or something is gonna be upwards of $30,000. Yes, this is a 2005 Carrera GT in seal gray, super impressive. It really seals the deal for me. How about you? I love this car. Let me know what you feel about it in the comments below. Also, let me know what other Porsche models you want to see. I want to hear from you, Porsche fans. And if you're not a Porsche fan, I still love you. Don't worry. All right, make sure you subscribe, turn your bell notifications on, and come back soon for more kick-ass rides here on Motorspins. Bye.